The 680th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code MMA SGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and the NFL season with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Heidi Ho DeGenerinos. Welcome to episode 680 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Salim Ouassaidi. I think. Ouassaidi. Say it, Gumby.
You are so unsure of the way you were saying that. I wasn't sure which person you were talking about.
Salim Ouassaidi.
I mean, it's French too, right? But I think it's also like a Middle Eastern descent and French. So it probably has a pronunciation none of us are ready for.
All right. Anyhow, this is dedicated to him. We'll let you know soon enough. Thank you for coming to the show. I am the hilarious Taco Fox, and this is an Aries FC episode. We've covered the French promotion a couple times in the past. We are covering them again because they are running Thursday. So this is a good week for MMA. We got you Tuesday event yesterday's UAE Warriors. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already. We got Aries running on Thursday. We're going to get you winning picks for that. And then, of course, the weekend's going to be jam-packed with events as well. So lots of fun here, including UFC pay-per-view. So this is Aries FC, as I said, Thursday. And it's on UFC Fight Pass too. And it's an afternoon event. So instead of working or whatever else you should be doing on a weekday, you can watch some MMA and bet on it. So I am not telling you who to bet on. I have a co-host for that. The one and only, very talented, Danny Gumby-Vreeland. Hello.
Hey, we already did all of our bragging on the last episode, so I don't know if I've got anything for you here.
I know.
Other than I will tell you, this is a pretty interesting Aries event. I like a lot of the fighters who are on it. There's some weird style matchups, and there are two lines on this one that we're going to be breaking down that I think are insane. I don't have any idea how the books came up with them. Jump on them as quickly as you can if I haven't already steamed them on you, and get after that.
And we do have odds for this too, which is good. So you don't have to worry about not having a book where you can bet on this event. Last time we spoke, like last week, you were up 20 units on non-UFC. You must be up more after this past weekend.
We're up to 33 units on
non-UFC. Oh, what? Now. Come on.
I mean, when you hit a plus 1,000 underdog in there, the number goes up quite a bit quicker. So now we're up I think it's just under 30. I think it's like 32 and a half units on the year-end non-UFC events. So
unreal.
And actually, if you want to take our last 3 weeks, I'm almost a little disappointed I don't have like a big underdog to hit you guys with right now. Because we hit a plus. I mean, he wanted being plus 1,200 at post this past week. Motion. The week before that, we hit a plus 375 at post, Mallory Martin. And the week before that, we hit Jake Heffernan plus 900. So, I mean, just if you put those three together, if you put one unit on all three of them, that's almost 25 units right there on just 3 plays. So, pretty darn good group of time there.
Fantastic. And basketball season is just around the corner, if you didn't know. I just got notification I am drafting second in the SGPN Fantasy Basketball League, so I approve of that for sure. Who should I take with the second pick, Gumby?
You got to probably go Luka, right? Because Joksović is going to go. Joksović is going first. Luka will go second.
You would take Luka over Victor, over Shea?
I got SGA on my third or fourth overall pick. So, I think there are people to draft before SGA.
Yeah. All right. We'll see. He is Canadian, though, so I may be obligated to pick him too. We shall see. But also, the NBA season tips off on October 22nd, and the NBA Gambling Podcast is hosting a wins total contest. Winner gets a $250 SGPN gift card. Head to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA contest to enter today before the season starts. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA contest. And while I'm giving you orders, first, I'm going to thank you for tuning into our episode, our podcast, and for your support. And if you haven't already, if you can head to Spotify and give us a 5-star rating, only you can prevent corporate gambling from taking over. Thank you in advance. All right, off to Aubervilliers, France. Aries Fighting Championship, Aries FC 26. Tekenah versus Menezes. Tekenah versus Menezes. This is going to be a good episode for my pronunciation as well. I'm sure I'm saying Aubervilliers wrong as well. It's Thursday, as I said, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Start Time, UFC Fight Pass. All that stuff is good stuff. 5 fights. We're going to break down more than half of them in full, 5 in full, and we'll see if Gumby's got some bonus picks on the remaining 3. Kicking things off with a couple of solid nickname fighters here at the very least. Benjamin Šehić. Šehić, is that right, Gumby?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm going to butcher where he's from, though. He's fighting against Moreno Kacapor, or is it Kacapor?
I think it's Kacapor. Yeah, I think you nailed it.
Yeah, I shouldn't even question myself. He is from Switzerland. This is 3 5-minute rounds. It's another good pronunciation episode for people who like that. These are big boys. 265. Šehić is the Dragon of Bosnia. We have discussed him before, I think. I remember that nickname. 7-5, 2 knockouts, 5 submissions. So he's finished everyone. He himself has been stopped 3 times via strikes. 4-2 in Aries. He's won 2 of his last 3, 3 of his last 7. He did lose his last fight. Used to be a super heavyweight. He was like 280 something. I saw in those fights. 280 plus. 1-0 as a pro grappler. 3 years younger than Kacapor. 4 inches taller. 13 inches of reach. That's correct. That's what I found. He's got something like 80 something inch reach. So he's got like a 7-footer reach on this man's frame. Plus 240. Despite all that. Kung Fu Panda. Kacapor. 2 5 knockouts, 1 submission. Never been finished in a fight. This is his debut. In Aries, he's won 3 straight and 6 of 7. The last 2 wins have come via TKO. Regional champion, minus 300.
So we talked on yesterday's episode about how Abdullahev's got the most fitting nickname because he is a tank and he fights like a tank. Kasapor's nickname is spot on. He fights like a Kung Fu Panda. He's like a big, chunky guy, and he has the wildest dexterity in his kicks for a dude of his size.
Chris Barnett.
So Chris Barnett that one's different because he's not 6'5".
Yeah.
Kacapor is 6'5" and doing not as much spinning, right? Like it's not as break dancey. But it's he's got the same kind of kickboxing, and I'm not the skill level, but the same kind of kickboxing as Mirko Krokop. He'll just pick his foot up and all of a sudden it's on your head and you're like, how did that get up there on that big fat guy? He's really quick and fast. And so I think that this is a good line for him. I like Kacapor in this one. Šehić, if you remember, we talked about him in the past. He's the guy who's got a billion inches of reach and at the same time only uses 2 of them. He throws weird hammer fists. I think one time I described his striking as similar to Mr. Larson from Happy Gilmore. That's kind of how he punches and how he looks a little bit too. And then once he gets close enough to you, he just tries to pull guard and turn it into a weird grappling match. Kacapor is just going to light his legs up. He's going to throw a million low leg kicks until Šehić just basically won't be able to stand up. And as long as Kacapor keeps backing up and beckoning him to stand, there's nothing Šehić can do in this fight to beat him. So I like Kacapor here. I think if people can find sloppy fatty over numbers for this one, I don't think it's a bad play because Kacapor I think is going to probably knock him out by the cumulative effect of just ripping to the legs, ripping to the body, and tiring him out. So if there's somewhere out there offering over 1.5, I could see over 1.5 on this one.
He's speaking your language, Crunch. This sounds like a fun fight, regardless, Gumby.
It's gonna be weird.
That's what we're all about here. We are a weird show. All right. Hopefully a winning pick there. Much closer odds on the next fight we're going to break down. This is a main card fight. 3 5-minute rounds. It doesn't list actually I found it on their side. I think it's featherweight. Does that sound right to you?
It says lightweight. I have written lightweight on the bottom, but you're right. I couldn't necessarily find it, but they just both recently fought at lightweight.
Yeah, actually, I checked Aries. It said featherweight, so that's
okay. So hang on 1 second, and just
okay. There you go.
Look at this. Look at this on the
on the fly.
And now it says featherweight. Look at that.
There you go. Just easy as that. Abou Tounkara is one of the featherweights in question. He's from Mali. Have we talked about a fighter from Mali before? I'm not sure. Mateus Linhares from Brazil. We definitely have covered Brazil. 3-5 rounds, 145 is the chosen weight class. And we're going to tell you about Linhares first. The Blessed is 8-3, 1 knockout, 5 submissions. He's been submitted twice. 1 low in Aries. He's won 2 straight in 506. Both of his past 2 wins have come via submission. He's fought at lightweight and welterweight. 7 years younger than Tounkara, minus 105. Tounkara is 12-5, 8 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out 5 times. This is his Aries debut. He's won 3 straight in 506. These guys are very similar here. 3 straight wins via finish. He's fight at lightweight and welterweight. 0-1 in Bellator. An inch taller than Linhares, minus 125.
Yeah, what did you say the number was on Tounkara now?
125.
Good. Okay, that hasn't moved since I last looked at it. Tounkara negative 125, one of my favorite numbers of the whole day.
That was the one you were excited about?
This is one of the 2 I'm very excited about, right? Because I said there were 2. This is one I'm really excited about. He is quite good on the feet. I really like his jabs and his combinations. When he starts to feel really good about his striking and he's backing up his opponent, he's dangerous. One of his losses is to Ivan Butchinger over in Octagon. And actually, he was piecing up Butchinger for like a round and change before Butchinger wound up in some like good grappling positions and wound up finishing him with a TKO. But Tounkara on the feet looked really good against Butchinger because he started to get confident, started to back him up, had Butchinger's back up against the cage. And like, he's also got pretty good cage control. Like if he does wind up in the clinch, he changes positions and winds up being the one pressuring. Doesn't look like he ever wants a takedown, but he does do a good job of like being in a position where he's looking offensive versus the defensive. Linhares, my biggest problem with him is it doesn't seem like he does particularly much on the feet other than use his striking to try to get into a clinch so that he can grapple. He's kind of a brawler, I would describe him as, but it almost seems like he doesn't even expect some of those strikes to land. He just wants to get close enough to you to try to grapple. And while his jiu-jitsu is very good, and I think that's probably what's driving the price here to be almost a pick 'em, his jiu-jitsu is really good. I don't think highly of his wrestling. I think his wrestling is, first of all, very subpar. And second of all, he's like kind of in a lot of his recent wins lucked into takedowns. Like, his opponent like overextended themselves and kind of tripped. There was one where it looked like there was like something on the mat that like made his opponent fall down. And then like he jumped on the back and like he's good at using those opportunities. But against Tounkara, as I mentioned, really good in the clinch, really good cage control. Yeah, he got taken down by Butchinger, but like Linhares could not be farther from Butchinger in terms of his wrestling ability. So I think we're going to see Tounkara sort of stall out Linhares in any of his takedown attempts. And I think when he's at range, he is going to be the better fighter by far. So Tounkara negative 125. Absolutely love it.
All right. We love that pick then, as long as it hits. That's the key. All right. Before we move on, we also love Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all sports: NFL, college football, MLB, MMA, WNBA, NASCAR, and more. Boost Over is upon us, which means you're getting a spooky amount of profit boost and much more. And with NBA tipping off, every NBA Pick'em entry from October 19th through the 27th will be boosted. You can now use specials and boosts on all flex entries. Do you have any plays for us, Gumby, for this Monday?
Yeah, Monday Night Football's got the Chargers and the Cardinals. I am still a believer in Marvin Harrison Jr., despite his up and downs that he's had. And right now, Underdog Fantasy's got his projected receiving yards at only 49.5. So I'll take the higher than on Marvin Harrison Jr.'s receiving yards.
And I have him on my fantasy team, so I approve of that. Here's what you got to do. Sign up with our code, MMA SGPN. You can see it on your screen. To claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That's MMA SGPN, UnderdogFantasy.com. Boom. Let's move on to light heavyweights. Third from the top, Paulin Begai from France. I think, yes, from France. A couple of French fighters going at it here. Have we even had a French fighter yet that we broke down? I don't think we have. Salim Ouassaidi, the aforementioned, from France as well. Just Google the guy or go on our Discord and check him out. Gumby posted a nice picture in there. It'll probably be quite up the feed by the time you get to it, but check it out anyhow. The guy is Le Chat, Chaat. I don't know what it means. I don't think Gumby does either. Do you?
Nope.
No. 5-3 with 2 knockouts. He's been submitted once. 3-3 in Aries. 3-1 over his last 4, including losing his last fight via submission. 7 inches taller, 6 inches of reach because he's fighting a little tank of a man. Plus 110. Bison, Bizon. So I believe it translates to Bison for the next tournament, which makes sense. He's 10-2 with 1 no contest, 7 knockouts, 1 submission. We've been knocked out once in his career. He got a no contest in Aries. 4-0 with 1 no contest over his last 5 fights, minus 140. Actually, you can probably just check out our thumbnail. I'm assuming you're going to use his picture for a thumbnail.
I didn't. I think I used Tekenah.
Okay. Yeah. She makes funny faces. So
yeah, she does some really good stuff. So. Yeah, we usually use her. I thought about using him, I will say, but also I'm not picking him here, so that feels worse too.
Boo to you.
I love this line on Begai. It's one I just can't understand. I think the only thing that could possibly make me want also Ouassaidi here is that like maybe Begai tires, like he kind of slows down and gets tired, but like he is so much better, I think, everywhere in this fight. Like, first of all, he's 6'5" at light heavyweight. That's like not a huge light heavyweight, but like that's right around what like a well-framed light heavyweight should be. Ouassaidi is 5'10". and like he looks like what you would imagine a 5'10" 205er looks like, and it's not great. And his striking is just like very one-dimensional. Like, I'm just gonna load up on as many overhand rights as I possibly can. And like Begai throws a really nice front kick that like digs to the body. He uses his range really well. I've seen him taken down before, but like he pops back up pretty quick. It's not like he just like stays in those positions. And, Salim might have a little bit of wrestling. Like maybe that's what the reason he's a favorite here. But like, I just don't think he's going to get close enough without getting absolutely popped on the feet. I'm very confused by this line. He's the one who had a no contest in his last fight, right? You said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was badly knocked out, and they determined one of the punches that landed was to the back of his head,
right?
And gave him a no con. Like he got crushed, and like I don't see any reason why I wouldn't assume it's going to happen the same exact way here. It's another guy who's good at striking, who's longer and rangier than him. So yeah, Begai negative or plus 110, crazy to me. I like him in this spot.
Why is it that you haven't figured out why?
I can't. Like that? I'm telling you, I didn't think there were odds for Aries when I started doing the breakdown, and I had written on my sheet over here, Begai negative 250. And then I pulled up one of the offshores that we typically talk about, and I saw it, and I was like, wait a second, does it say plus money? And it did. It did indeed say plus money. I don't know how long it'll stay that way. It shouldn't stay that way long.
Not if you people are paying attention. That's basically what you thought when you saw the Cyborg line as well, as did I. So,
the Cyborg line was crazy,
and that paid off.
Dominated 4 out of 5 rounds.
Yeah, so there you go. He knows what he's talking about most of the time. 33 units he's up, for crying out loud. Co-main event, Nikola Joksović. He is from Serbia, and he is fighting against Ramazan Mustafaev. He is from Russia, not surprisingly. This is a 3 5-minute rounds at 170. Tell you about Mustafaev. He is 8-1, 5 knockouts, 1 submission. Never been finished in a fight. 1 no in Aries. He's won 3 straight fights. He's not fought since March 2023. He's not lost since April 2021. He's fight at lightweight. 4 years younger than Joksović, plus 190. Joksović is 15-0, 5 knockouts, 8 submissions, 3-0 in Aries, 6 straight wins via finish. Regional champ. He's fight at middleweight. An inch taller than Mustafaev, minus 240. He looks pretty good, Joksović, at least on paper.
Yeah.
Is he good?
So I'm going to take him in this fight, but I'm also going to say the line is a pass for me. Okay. Would you say it was 240?
Yeah.
240. I just can't get behind him at 240 here, and it's not because he's not good. I do think he's good. I love his single leg takedown. He's got a very nice single leg takedown. His counters are really sharp. He prefers to counter, though, and that's sort of why I'm worried about him here. Like, he will back up for a large portion of time and look for the counter, and Mustafaev will back you up, not really throw very much, and then get in on a takedown. And Mustafaev's takedowns are really good. Now, Joksović has a good offensive wrestling game. I haven't really seen the defensive wrestling side of it. He's never had to fight somebody like Mustafaev and show that, like, in addition to being good offensively, he's good defensively. But at the same time, I don't really want to get on Mustafaev here because I think he's infinitely worse at striking. Like, if Joksović just comes forward and lets go of combinations, Mustafaev is never going to get off his back foot, and he's just going to get obliterated on the feet. Joksović has got really impressive combinations and, like, kind of shocking power for, don't get me wrong. He's like a big cut, like in shape looking dude, but like it sort of surprised me. A couple of the punches he threw didn't look like they should stun his opponents, and like they fell like crazy. And I was like, man, and then he jumps in and he's got a good submission game and a good top control game. Like, I think he's got everything he needs to beat Mustafaev. But like at -240, I don't want to have something that is like a huge question mark that I don't know the answer to. Like, can he defend a takedown from a really good wrestler? I have no idea, and I don't want to be holding a -240 ticket when I'm, answering that question.
Yeah.
So I'd like him to win here. But this is, with so many good lines on this card already, this is one I'm probably just avoiding.
All righty. Gummy says avoid it, but Joksović is our pick. Before we get to the main event and our bonus picks, let me tell you about Rhythm. SGPN's proud partner Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, and props. Build your model, copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard, or press build a model for me, and Rhythm gives you predictions for every game and player prop, and also has a myriad of stats, research, and trend analysis to give you even more betting insights. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And we are brought to you by BetUS. Bet with the best in the business, BetUS. BetUS has been around for more than 30 years. You can easily deposit using cryptocurrency and get lightning fast payouts. US players are always welcome. Sign up and deposit $100, and you have a chance to win a 1964 Mustang. So check out all the MMA lines there and use our link to sign up and get 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS, promo code SGPN, so they know we sent you. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. And just like that, we're at the main event. And it is for the AFC vacant flyweight championship, female flyweight, women's flyweight championship. Why is it vacant, Gumby?
Oh, I knew this too.
Do you for real?
I did. Is it Ivana Petrovic? What's the champ?
Don't question me. I don't know. I want
to say Ivana Petrovic was the champ.
Okay.
Before she got signed. I'll get on it. You go ahead and give us the breakdown.
All right.
I'll put the intern on.
Yes.
He's been lazy lately anyway.
Yep. The woman with the funny faces, Alexandra Tekenah from France versus Jady Menezes from Brazil. 5-5-minute rounds if they need it at women's flyweight for the belt. Menezes, 4-1 with 2 knockouts, never been finished in a fight. She lost her pro debut. Since then, she's won 4 straight fights, including her last fight via TKO. Pro debut was December 2014, so she's not lost in almost 10 years now. Used to fight at bantamweight, 14-4 in kickboxing, and champion there, plus 160. Tekenah, Lanimal. She's the animal, 5-1 with 3 knockouts. She's been submitted once. All those fights have taken place in Aries. She's won 3 straight fights. TKO in her last fight. Is not lost since September 2022. 2 years younger, 3 inches taller, and 5 inches reach over. Menezes, -200.
So my intern got back to me. This was Ivana Petrovic's title.
Good job,
that she vacated. I'm feeling pretty good about calling up an Aries FC former flyweight champion.
Fantastic.
That's a good one. I'm taking Tekenah here. -200. Great line for me. I expected it to be a little lower, to be honest. But like even at -200, I like it, and that's just because Menezes is the type of fighter, at least like if you've watched a lot of her, because she was a glory kickboxer. If you watch like a lot of her kickboxing is best not because she's at range, but because she like throws knees in the clinch and likes to work. She just like brawls her way into the clinch and works there too. It's not that she's really great from distance. In fact, I don't think she's really great from distance. And Tekenah is really good from distance. Maybe her biggest flaw is that she's heavy on her feet. She really digs in and gets ready to throw, but also that creates a lot more power. Like she creates a ton of power in those exchanges. She really powerful kicks to the body and the calf. I've seen her crumple women before with kicks to the body. And also, like, in this fight, you know, Tekenah typically working from range, like I said, good to the body, but also, like, I think in this fight, she could wrestle. Menezes is like a fighter who probably doesn't want any part of the wrestling aspect of the clinch, but does like knees in the clinch. So if she like brawls her way into the clinch and winds up like, you know, trying to throw knees to the body and stuff like that, I could see Tekenah just taking her down and wearing her out. She's also going to be the more physical fighter, I think. Like, she's very physically strong for a 125er. So I think whenever she's in the clinch here, she's going to have the better positions. And she could probably turn a few of those into takedowns. And that's on top of the fact that I think, like, she, in theory, could win a striking contest, being the way she works to the body and the way she rips the leg. So, yeah, give me Tekenah here. I like her. -200 is a pretty respectable line.
All right. Gumby likes that line. Let's give you a recap and then get you some bonus picks, shall we? All right. He's got Tekenah predicted to be the new champion. He's got Joksović. He's got Begai. He has got Tounkara. He has got Kacapor. All right. Lightning round. You don't have much to choose from, but do you, Zapang, Boo, and Pow, do you like any of the other fights?
Yeah. I like Jesus Sanchez. He's a 1-0 Mexican light heavyweight fighting in this promotion. Half of it is because I think he's, he's powerful, as you would imagine, a lot of 1-0 fighters getting the chance at 205 in a big promotion like this. But I think he's fighting this guy Sokoju, who is not the Sokoju, obviously. But he's 0-1 and looked really bad in his debut. So it's like a kind of a fade on him. And also I'm only seeing -140 on Sanchez here. So I'm going to take him here. The other one, I got to slow myself down as I say this because I'm going to mess up his name. Andre Oniskenko, who's an Italian guy. He is super quick. I really like his speed. He generates kind of a lot of power considering his weight class. He's betting off at like +110. I think you could, I want to say he's 3-0 and had like some good AMI record too. And so like, at +110, that might be some value that you can find on the undercard.
All right. Now you are set for Aries. We should be watching and discussing in our Discord as per usual. That would be sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. You can hit us up, up in the comment section on YouTube. That would be MMA Gambling Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Twitter, SGPN MMA. Gumby Vreeland, Jeff Fox Writer. There are the handles to follow. Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram as well. Get in my Substack, enter my free UFC pick'em for this weekend's pay-per-view. That would be moneymma.substack.com. Check out Gumby's Top Turtle MMA podcast. It's going to be LFA heavy this week. He's that's all we have to say because one of the interviews is still up in the air, right? So
that's correct.
Check it out. Top Turtle MMA podcast. And then, of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, and sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Gummy, take us out of here.
I am Dana Gumby Vreeland. He's the Bosnian Dragon, Jeff Fox. And we will see you tomorrow.